Hello and welcome to this week's episodes of The Calling. Follow your spirit all the way in. I'm your host, Homaya. Join me in this journey of self-awareness, soul frequencies, and spiritual revelations. Let's fly. Hello, my beauties. Welcome to another episode of The Calling. In this episode, I want us to explore the meaning of being a healer. And I call you into this episode whether you are a real healer working hands-on with clients, consultation or support, as a mentor, as a guide. But I also want you to listen to this episode if you don't identify yourself as a healer, because you might find some things here that will inspire you and that will shift your consciousness around how you live and how you serve in this life. So many years ago, when I was in one of the first healing initiations that I've received from my masters at that time, one of the initiation came together with a question, who is a healer? And I recall that I felt very strongly within me that a healer is the one who's doing his thing, his God-given gift in full presence and connection. So from my perception, I said my hairdresser, which I love very much, is doing his work with such a presence, with so much devotion, with such a deep connection to himself, to what he's doing, that it is for sure a healing experience. If I'm listening to someone singing and there's awareness and very pure transmission, that I don't hear thoughts in the voice, that I don't hear subliminal messages, that I don't hear complex political agendas or whatever wish to oppose a certain idea, but rather a sharing from generosity of what feels and what is experienced as truth within, a transmission of the truth of your being. Then when I hear this singer, when I hear this music that is intentional, generous, intentional to touch me, then it's a healing experience. If I'm eating a food made by someone in love with his food and in love with cooking and in love with serving, and that person is so present when he's doing this work, and there's no egoistic, I would even say, fear or survival at that moment of the delivery, the moment of the cooking, then this is a healing experience. And then this one is a healer. This cook, this singer, this writer, this whatever profession, and beyond profession. And when I'm using the word God-given gift, I am not relating to, oh, you have a certain talent and you were born with that talent, you were using this talent, you develop your charisma around it, and it is now being declared that this is your God-given gift. It's not about talent. This God that gave you this gift is not an external source. but rather an act of a deep devotion that you have to something that you recognize within you. That you feel that when you sing, or when you cook, or when you speak with someone, or when you put your two hands on someone's energy field, or whatever act of presence, you're doing it because you yourself, you are becoming alive at this moment. You yourself are able to create new worlds at this moment of doing that. So it's way more than what you're doing. It starts to be who you are. You discover yourself. You discover the world. You discover relationship and connections. When you are in this zone, when you're in this presence, when you're in this frequency, I'm using the word gift, God-given gift, because gift is a potential energy. Every time you give a gift, you give to someone something that person didn't have before. You give him something that from the moment that this person will receive it, it is up to him what he's going to do with that gift. What is he going to do with this potential energy? Think about situations in your life that you've received a gift, a book, a bag, a clothes, a trip. It's something that is coming out of the blue. You didn't ask for it. You were not planning for it. You've received this potential energy. So your God-given gift is the place where the potential energy, the highest potential energy, is activated inside of you. It is bringing you to life. Take a deep breath and take a moment to contemplate about that for yourself. I go back to the healer. Who is a healer? Is the one that is in full presence, playing, applying, giving his God-given gift. Many of those who are listening to this podcast and who are playing with me in this game of life are active healers, have trained thousands of healers in my life. I initiated thousands of healers in my life, worked with hundreds, and let's say the majority of my life is in the realm of healing. And in the beginning, I worked with my hands, moving and transmitting energy. That happened, let's say the awareness of healing and energy work at that time was not as we have it now. It was more rare. There were more doubts and prejudgment concepts around it. As I have moved and trained myself and others more, I rested in what I name as the highest truth around healing. That healing is being, and being is healing. That healing is in my presence, in my awareness, in the level of consciousness that I embody. Healing is in my being. It is not an act, although act can be part of it. It is not an act. It is not a job. It is in my presence. More than that, healing is being in the sense of by being the one that I am, by being present to life itself, by participating in full presence with expanded awareness in life, I heal and I am giving healing with the way that I show up to life and play it. I am healing. I am healing myself. I'm healing others. I am healing the world. Take another deep breath for that. Most of the healers and most of the people who are tapping into energetic healing and light healing in the Western world have learned about healing from what I would name Western medicine, that choose to call energy healing as alternative medicine. So when you are in your life and any physical conditions are something that you resolve through drugs, and medicine, surgeries, and interventions, your perception about healing is that we're supposed to give solutions. Healers are supposed to give solutions, are supposed to resolve issues, are supposed to bring the situation back to normal again. And if this is the way that your mind operates, there will be a limit of how much you will go with your healing abilities and with your healing service. To move into full healing and to be really a healer, those places of who are you supposed to resolve a situation to bring it back to the state that it was before? Do we need to fix anything? All of those should have a big question mark around it. And it doesn't end. Like, I'm sure that some of you have already really advanced and liberated themselves from the need to fix. But then it could be that there are still some other myths and attitude and behavioral patterns and thought forms around healing and around presence and around being as a profession that are still there running in your system. Healing and healers are coming to this world as the one who are bringing expanded awareness. When we're saying healing is being and being is healing, what we're also saying that true healing is opening ourselves beyond the known. That true healing is actually endless. Because there will be always an expansion of consciousness. That true healing, full healing, is awakening. I'm calling you also inside of you to say, As a healer, I'm actually a creator. As a healer, I am actually expanding. As a healer, I am the one that is sitting on the fountain of life, creating beauty and grace and places for grace and beauty and truth and light and liberation and freedom to show up. I am not only the one who needs to enter the room or enter a situation to look at what is not working, what is not functioning. I am here to keep on opening the glass ceiling, to keep on breaking the walls of limitation, of old perception. I am the one who's not only anchored in, let's see what didn't work well before, and I'm going to fix what happened, fix the past. I am the one who's tracing the future. I am the one who's bringing the past and the future into the now for the now to be completely free. I'm not reacting. I'm leading. I'm holding the torch. I am beyond time, beyond space. I am living my God-given gifts, my connection to spirit, my strong awareness of all that there is. I am living it. I am experiencing it. It is in my being. It is in my presence, and the ripple effect of it heals me, heals those that are around me, who came for my services, and healing the world. So I call you in, beloveds, to contemplate of how you bring to life your God-given potential in your presence. How much can you embrace your presence as healing? How much are you free from trying to fix what happened into being a healer as the one who's constantly expanding consciousness and creating space for grace? Thank you for your listening. I'll see you in the comments. Wishing you a beautiful day. Thank you for listening and being part of this great conversation. You will find all the relevant links in the show notes, as well as a link to a meditation for you to feel more connected to your spirit and aligned with your soul contract. Please, if this episode touched you, leave a review, like, and subscribe. Feel comfortable to share it with your friends, family, and colleagues, because everyone has a calling.